But where I start this isn't some breakdown of Celtics basketball. That's not what I'm interested in. What I want to know is this. City like Boston, city like Detroit, two proud, traditional sports cities. And that performance for the Celtics, that performance in the NBA was incredible. But I want to look at guys like Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is a superstar out of nowhere, out of thin air. A guy that was the last draft pick, I believe, in the draft at number 60 overall. A guy who wasn't given a whole lot of a chance with Sacramento and was dealt. Goes to Phoenix, gets dealt for peanuts to the Celtics 2.5 years ago. And then in the span of, I would say, a year and a half, he had become a star. And by the end of this season, 2.5 years, he's become a superstar. Become one of the preeminent, if not the best, fourth quarter player in the league. And he has become something that I think is absolutely part of being a superstar. You have to, a large amount of the time, be unstoppable. You know, there are nights you're going to miss shots, but it's not the opponent forcing you to miss. You just didn't have a good night. With Isaiah, if he has a bad night, it's because he's just missing or he's off. You can't stop this dude. He's made being 5'9", 5'7", a weapon. I've never seen a guy use his size to this advantage, to this level. It's incredible. So I wanted to ask you guys the question. What are the comparatives in all of sports to Isaiah Thomas? The out-of-nowhere superstar. A guy, it's not like he was number one pick in the draft. He wasn't a huge free agent acquisition. Nobody, not even a big-time Celtics fan like myself, ever expected anything like this. When we acquired him, I thought it was just a nice bench player who would add scoring for us in a playoff drive. He's turned into, I don't know what you want to call him. Do you want to say he's one of the 15 best players in the league? 20 best? I mean, he's the best little man, there's no doubt. I think he's one of the 3 best little guys in league history right now. But what is the comparative? Because in today's world of sports, I'll be honest, I watch a lot, and it's redundant. Very rarely do we get different. Like Mike Trout is different. Mike Trout is a generational player, a true 5-tool player. Offense, defense, running, on base percentage, power, all. Mike Trout was different when he came up. You go, wow, that's special. LeBron was different. You'd never seen anything like it. 6'8", 250, chiseled, and he's playing point guard. You know, this year, I guess if there was a comparative in basketball, I would say a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's a 7-footer, freaky, athletic playing point guard. But Isaiah Thomas is 5'0", not drafted high, not a big money guy, and he has turned into an unstoppable force. Like the only one I could think of here in this city would be Pavel Datsyuk. Drafted like 266th or whatever it is. Nobody knew who the guy was. Not the biggest guy in the world. Turned into one of the better two-way players of the last 15 years. Pavel Datsyuk was an absolute superstar. Out of nowhere. So I wanted to throw the number out. I mean, guys, I don't know what to compare Isaiah Thomas to. What I saw last night, me and my dad were texting, we were like little kids. It was really just awesome theater to watch. And I know people don't get into the NBA unless the Pistons are in it. I know a lot of people aren't watching basketball at 10:30 at night when a lot of the magic was going on. But if you were lucky enough to see it, that was one of the best playoff performances you'll ever see. Let me throw the number out. 248-539-9797. I'm looking, Sully, for just these out-of-nowhere, unexpected superstars that are comparatives to IT4.
I have a comparative to Isaiah Thomas, a current athlete that I think fits. And I would say this is a guy that was a late-round pick. I'm going to build up to it a little bit. A guy that was a late-round pick, a guy who was undersized, and a guy who came in where you expected, hey, he might be a nice piece. Like you said, maybe a nice bench player, a nice guy that can contribute here and there, but he's turned into an absolute superstar, and that's Antonio Brown. 6th-round pick, Central Michigan, went to the Steelers, undersized. You figured, okay, he might be able to play slot, catch a few balls, turned into the best receiver in the NFL.
Why did I think he was a 2nd-round pick? That's Le'Veon Bell, who was a 2nd-rounder.
Correct. Le'Veon was 2nd round, yep.
Okay, that's a good one. I'll give you a baseball comparative for IT4. Mike Piazza. Now, I know that's a little long in the tooth, but Piazza was like a 87th-round draft pick. He was a favor to Tommy Lasorda and the Dodger organization because he was like a second cousin to somebody out there, and they took him. Mike Piazza then went on to turn into one of the best offensive catchers in the history of baseball. So I'm just looking for comparatives to what Isaiah Thomas is doing. An out-of-nowhere superstar. 248-539-9797. Doesn't have to be Detroit. Wouldn't mind it if you had one. But anywhere in the world of sports. And if you don't like basketball, it's cool. I'm not asking you to. But if you're at work right now or you got a break later in your day, do yourself a favor. All you got to do is type in Isaiah Thomas Celtics. Take 30 seconds and watch some of these highlights. 53 points on almost 50% shooting. I think he was 17 of 34. No, he was 16 of 33. Just short of 50%. 53 points, played 45 minutes. Smallest guy on the floor, couldn't be stopped. 27 of his 53 were in the fourth quarter and overtime.